news media industry has been compromised and destroyed by the same corporate investors and lobbying groups that have poisoned our two-party political system. So right now on my phone, I have a dope-ass news aggregate pulled up called Ground News, which is Channel 5's primary research tool that we peep before going into the field to figure out what the heck is really going on. Every single day, Ground News compiles thousands upon thousands of articles from across the world and maps them across the political spectrum in terms of bias, factuality, and ownership. So you can figure out who might be paying for what message, if you know what I mean. The news media industry has been compromised and destroyed by the same corporate investors and lobbying groups that have poisoned our two-party political system. And for that reason, it's hard to tell who's telling the truth. But with Ground News, it gets a little bit easier. Looked him up on the app and saw that the far majority of his mainstream coverage consisted of left-leaning outlets attacking him, criticizing Clavicular. For example, Out magazine published a heavily circulated article titled "How Clavicular and his Looksmaxing Subculture Are Like Toxic Gays Without the Sex," and a second critical think piece called "What Looksmaxing Says About Modern Masculinity." And newsflash, they didn't have great things to say about what bone smashing and peptide injection says about the state of young men in the US. These articles are absolutely and utterly riddled with scathing commentary that put me into the mind of a Clav hater. But as a journalist, I had to understand the mind of a Clav supporter as well. But as you can see here on the right, there's absolutely no coverage. Not a peep from Fox News, Blaze, Big Tucker, nobody on the right coming to Clavicular's defense. This helped me to understand and truly realize that Clav is a subcultural leader building an empire and army of his own without the positive help of the right-wing political establishment. As you can see here, the biggest Clav story ever, titled "Mogging, Maxing, and Clav Briefly Explain," only has 6 sources. 6 sources covering it. That's absolute peanuts and crickets compared to the daily Iran war updates. But I'm willing to bet that 75% of young Gen Alpha dudes can tell you when and where Clav last got frame mogged before they could point out the goddamn Strait of Hormuz. And that is why Ground News has a dope-ass feature called the Blind Spot feed. They show you things not being covered by the mainstream media at all and help you break out of your algorithmic echo chamber. Break free from algorithmic hypnosis.